Sammy Yim wants to know, for someone just getting started in building/woodworking, what are some essential yet inexpensive tools that you would recommend? Ooh, this is a good one. Hold on. This is one of my favorite tools in this whole shop. It is a Japanese wood saw. The difference between this and your regular American saw is that the American saw cuts on the push. The teeth are faced away from the operator, and you push to make the cut. The Japanese saws, you cut on the pull. And it is an entirely different experience cutting with one of these. I love this tool. That's all I'm going to say about it, because on Tested, we're about to shoot a tool tip where I go through all the things I love about this, and I will link to I've used expensive ones. I've used really inexpensive ones, and the really inexpensive ones are still phenomenal. And so this is a great starter tool to have if you're just beginning making. It will make lots of things possible. Okay, we have one more question, and I'm going to, let's see here. We've got, let's see. Blaine Bellerud says, what is the approximate square footage of the shop? It's smaller than you think. It's 15 by 30. Yeah. That's what, 450 square feet. Yeah, it's pretty small. This is about the size of my first dorm room at Weinstein in New York City. And it's perfect for me. It's perfect for me. If you gave me 5,000 square feet, I'd still put all my tools in this arrangement. I'd just be able to park my Land Cruiser right there and work on it. But I want to take one last question. Nathaniel Young says, oh, this is such a good last question. Do you have a method for keeping track of stuff you rarely use but have squirreled away somewhere? This is the bugbear of being a tool collector. This is the biggest issue with collecting tools and materials, is if you only use them every couple of years, how do you store them so that you can retrieve them? Okay, so one way is I have almost 50 of these. These are Sortimo cases by Sortimo, S-O-R-T-I-M-O. They're a European, I think German company that outfits repair vans. But in addition to those, I have an alphabetized list of everything that's in all 50 Sortimos, so I can go through it. But that's not the main method by which I find stuff that I use rarely. I find stuff that I use rarely by, let's see. Okay, let's say that I knew I was only going to need this brush once every 2 years. I ask myself, you ever do this thing where you like take a deep breath and then answer a question without thinking? This is what I do. Where would I look for this if I needed it right now? And then I answer that question immediately. Oh, I would put it in the back of the paint thing on a thing. And then I put it there. My first thought is the best thought, and it's the only thought I pay attention to. I try not to be clever. I try not to be efficient. I ask my brain, where would you look for this? Assuming that the answer will be the same 2 years from now. Where should you look for this? It should go where my brain first thought 2 years before. So when you are thinking about putting something away and storing it, ask yourself, before you place it there, where would you look for it if you needed it now? That is perhaps the single greatest organizing trick I have learned in the years of making stuff and having shops. And I only figured that out about 5 years ago, and it's changed my whole life. I lose so many fewer things. Is that really a sentence? I lose things less now than I used to by a fair bit. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for submitting these incredible questions, Tested patrons. Like I said, I know I only answered half a dozen here today, but I have this big fat list. I'm going to answer some more over the next few weeks. Everybody else, thank you so much for joining me for this live stream. I love doing these. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, I might have another kit that I'm working on. I'm not sure. We still haven't made a call on that, but I will be back. I hope you guys and your families are all safe and sound. Stay that way. Wear your masks, and I will see you soon.